Join us as we dive deep with real indie filmmakers, those creating outside the studio system, sharing raw, unfiltered stories about their artistic vision, personal growth, and spiritual evolution. This isn't about Hollywood's version of indie, it's about the true heart and hustle of independent artistry, where bold dreams meet purpose and art defines the journey. I'm Adrienne Acevedo Lovette.
And I'm John A. Rice.
And this is Real Indie.
Today's guest is Lenny Thomas. Hi, Lenny. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
An award-winning actor, producer, and director born and raised in New York City, he honed his craft studying under James Brill at New York's Neighborhood Playhouse School of Theater. Known widely for his role as Dikahn on the TV series Ruthless, Lenny's pursuit of acting has allowed him to further grow as a creative force on various sides of the entertainment industry.
Yay, Lenny!
Yay! Thanks for being here with us.
So good to have you.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah. We go pretty way back, don't we? I don't even remember actually where through the chain? Is that how?
I mean, it has to be through the chain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Through the chain, and then we had, did what'd you call it, little survival job things together.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You guys did.
We worked together ages ago. But Lenny was in a movie that I wrote and that Adrienne directed called The Dark Room.
Yes.
He's fabulous.
Yeah.
And then has gone on to do some incredible things since then. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, you've been busy.
I can't help myself. I hate idle time. You know what I mean? And I feel like I get to do all these things and I want to bring my people with me. So that's my motivation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so you're very much an active professional actor and an actor who has, pivoted a little bit to making their own films. And so now you're an indie filmmaker as well as an actor. Yeah. So how has that transition been for you?
Honestly, it felt like right on time, right as rain. You know what I mean? It didn't really, I always have to be starting something, right? So usually I'm an energy in, getting something moving, but so it just felt like the natural, order of things to start creating my own stuff. And I still don't even see it like that because I'm like, this is a collective effort. It's not about me. In fact, the more I can make it not about me, the better. You know what I mean? And a lot of projects that I did, before Ruthless came along, they almost died in post-production. And I hate when that happens. You put all this time and effort into something, and then, funds, biggest problem always, and then it just sits there. So I was like, when I got a couple dollars now, let's go. And I pushed a bunch of projects through post-production, and I'm like, good, people get to see our stuff. More importantly, people get to see y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm the only one winning, I say this shit all the time because I believe it. If I'm the only one winning, I'm losing. You know what I mean? And I don't like to lose if it doesn't serve a purpose, if there isn't some kind of reward after the fact. So
yeah, I'm very big on that too, kind of bringing my community with me up the steps and up the elevator, and happy to, once I'm up the top level, bring the elevator back down,
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
You need that, seriously. And also, I hear it all the time from creatives who don't like the word networking, is to, work with who's right beside you. You know what I mean? Stay and build each other up.
Yes.
Screw trying to be with...
Skipping the alphabet, trying to go from A to Z. Let's work together and bring ourselves together. Yeah.
Exactly. These strangers don't know you. They don't owe you anything. And you get around and then what? You know what I mean? Like, unless they are gung-ho about you, it doesn't matter that you know them. You know what I'm saying? I want people who are geeked about being around me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. So, and that's the people that I came up with. So
I agree with you. And that was a realization I had maybe like last year, the year before, where I was like, why am I worrying so much about skipping the alphabet, jumping ahead, climbing the ladder so quickly? Right. And when I love making films with my friends who, I've, grown as a filmmaker and as an artist with, I want to continue making the films with them. And so that idea actually let me release the obsessiveness of trying to climb the ladder and like jump up to the top quickly, and it made me it grounded me. And do you feel like, in a way, is there things that help ground you, whether it's like spiritually or ritualistically or nature? Are there anything that grounds you personally?
Phew, that's a really great question. Besides exercise,
Which
Wait, you work out?
which is a big thing, actually, and I
Yeah.
think people tend to forget that.
Oh, yeah.
That movement, working
Yeah.
out, walking, whatever the case
Walking
may be,
is the
it's
main
very
one, yeah.
important as a creative.
Yeah.
That kind of also stillness. It's like this weird balance,
Because I was going to say
right?
that next, meditation. I would just literally, I sit in silence a lot. In fact, most of the time, there's nothing on around me, no TV, I will stare at the wall for a few hours sometimes and purposefully not do anything. Like, I don't know what it is about that. It kind of just allows me to have my own thoughts where I'm not, because seriously, you got to find a way to quiet the noise, you know what I mean? And rise above the noise. There's so much noise, not just because we're in New York City.
Right.
Sure.
Which you're going to hear like honking during the podcast, but it is what it is.
But I would love to be the loudest voice in my head as often as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, I'm building someone else's dream and I forgot about me. You know what I mean? And if I'm not serving me first, I can't be of service properly. So, working out of meditation, 1 and 2, I would say. And I think that's really it. Everything else just seems like I'm throwing paint at the wall or
Sure.
throwing spaghetti at the wall, whatever the freaking saying.
Sure.
I mean, you're always ever changing, ever learning,
Yeah.
figuring out what works for you. And I think as you get older, that changes, it shifts. And things that work for you now might not work for you 10 years from now. And your career, changes you as well. And so in regards to like your acting, what do you want to focus on as an actor? Like, what projects are you looking to fulfill you as an artist? And what types of roles? Because you're creating your own roles right now.
Yeah.
So and clearly because you're not getting what you can do. So what are the kinds of roles next that you're hoping to create?
I really want to create, because it's not going to fall in my lap, opportunity to be myself in something, right? I typically, because, I work mostly in the world of TV, or at least that's the one that pays me the most right now. And, TV, it is what it is, deals with stereotypes. How you're seen and how you seem is what people are going to perceive you as, right? So I come across as a villain. People are afraid of me, which is hilarious to me because I'm such a clown. But you got to run with what works, right? And the thing that you can do naturally is the thing that you'll get paid the fastest for. That's what I was taught, right? So cool, I'm gonna make money doing that over here. But then when it's my turn, if I get to make my own things with my people, I want to be more of like who I actually am. I want to play a funny dude. I want to play a clown because I'm that. I want to, you know what I mean? Villains have fun. I have a lot of fun playing the villain. But I also want to play nuanced Black characters. Well, I'm Black, so I can't change that part. But nuanced characters, right? And I would love the things I create to give permission to people to be themselves more, or to, allow themselves to be their quirky, weird selves. Because I'm weird, I'm quirky. You know what I'm saying? And I embrace that side. I used to hate myself because I thought something was wrong with me. Then I realized, like, wait, we're all screwed up out here. You know what I mean? And we're all trying to figure it out. We're all trying to go, build as we go along. No one has it together. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. We're all trying to make it happen, though. And that's okay. You know what I mean? You can rest in the knowing that as long as you're putting your best foot forward and you're, focused on sharing your light, like, you can't really lose. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Is BEGGARMAN, did you make short films leading up to BEGGARMAN, or did you just out the gate say, I'm going to make a feature?
That's hilarious. I made a bunch of short films. Directed one at my former apartment in Atlanta. The only thing, my directorial debut was a short film. And it just, one of my good friends, who I did a few films with prior, came to me with BEGGARMAN, like, hey, I wrote this thing. I was wondering if you want to be a part of it. And then I read it and I was like, yo, I'll fund it because I'm nuts. And yeah, it's amazing what having belief in yourself and the people around you can do, right? Because by this point, I already shot 4 episodes of a TV show that I'm also producing, right? That one of my old acting buddies, he wrote a play based off of an activity he saw me and another actor do in class. He wrote a play, he became a short play. I wanted him to develop it into a short film. It gets in the hands of my now showrunner, Jamal Hodge. Shout out to Jamal, I love you, dude. He was like, oh, this is a series. And then him and the creator, Adam, Delia, got together and, wrote 4 episodes. And, we're gonna have 8 altogether. And we shot that in 2022, right?
Wow.
So this is before BEGGARMAN. BEGGARMAN was April of 2023. So I already knew I could, do a massive feat. We shot both of those here in New York City, right?
Wow, yeah.
The little coins I made with Tyler Perry, no disrespect. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, where there's a will, there's a way. And Jamal is such a monster. He's such a beautiful, ingenious person. He knows how to get the most bang for your buck. He has crazy connections. And we were able to shoot some of the best things I've ever done here in the city. And then I do BEGGARMAN, which is another, oh my gosh. Yeah.
What's the name of the show?
Typecast. It's actually about actors.
Okay, great.
Who are typecast, right? And a black man who wants to be more in the world of TV and film, Lenny Thomas, who's, what'd you call it? He's not black enough to play black characters. He's too black to play in the world of white folk. So he's like in this rock and a hard place. And then his castmate / my co-star, Lana, who is this Italian New York girl, who, again, you know what I mean, because of her background, she's only seen as, she's only seen as this gumar, as we say, the mistress, the other woman, She's not seen for the powerful actress and artist that she is. So it's these two essentially come together in their problems and strike a love affair, right? So it's like, I would say it's like Curb Your Enthusiasm meets Jungle Fever, right?
Or American Fiction.
Oh, I love that movie.
That's
That'd be a good comp,
I'm gonna give her credit for that. Sorry, Jamal. I'm giving away our money.
Listen.
So typecast give you the confidence to be like, okay, I can do this myself. Where did the story from BEGGARMAN come from?
What is so wild about this? I have a brother who was an ex-Navy SEAL who was homeless for a second, right? In and out of jail, like his life was crazy for a second. And Frankie wrote this story. And he wrote it based off of Frankie Montero, based off of stories he kept hearing about homeless veterans all over the city and all over the country, right? And how horrible it is for them and how many of them there are. And it's like they're the forgotten heroes of this country. And when he gets on a roll about something, he just da-da-da. And boom, 90 pages later, BEGGARMAN. And then, went through iterations. It used to be called like the Vagrant, the Migrant Vagrant, the Vagrant, something, the Vagrant. And he brought it to me around one of the best / worst times of my life. Like my friend just took her life, right? And I was just wallowing in my sorrows. My goodness, that just seemed like a way out. I was like, oh, perfect. Because I can't function as a person if I'm not working on something, because that seems to keep me sane. It seems to keep me good, right? At least not destructive, self-destructive. Because I was in a bad way, it was. So boom. And I was like, screw it, I'll use my own funds to do it. You know what I mean? Can we give me a budget, right? Or matter of fact, this is what I can afford. Can we do it within these lines?
Sure.
And somehow we freaking did. Oh my God.
I mean, that's indie filmmaking.
Yes,
It's making magic with so little and at different levels, but we all figure it out.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We all figure it out. So then the TV show, is that a mini series? Where is that going? Is it on somewhere now?
It is.
Like, how can people see it?
We need to polish up the episodes that we've shot already. We need to shoot 4 more.
Okay.
I don't want to take it anywhere until all 8 episodes are done.
Got it.
Because
Of course.
I want to maintain creative control. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm not selling my IP to anybody. No, I'm going to do what's his name? Duplass did, and take
Shoot
a
it
finished
all,
project.
and then here you go.
Here you go.
Yeah.
And if, say it goes to one of the biggest streamers and they decide not to go forward with it and we have another season we want to do, I'm going to take my stuff and go elsewhere, sweetheart, da. Sure. Because, you know what I mean? The power is always going to be with the people. And I didn't get into this game to sell out, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because, there are other people's, lives are tied to the choices I make. And if we're not all winning, I'm losing. So screw that,
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the dynamics? You've been, working in the indie world. You've worked in the TV studio world. Can you talk about how the difference is and if you have a preference of one or the other?
Yeah, I like this is so wild. I prefer the chaos of the indie world than the chaos of the TV world and studio world. Mainly because I have a say, I have control, and these people actually care about for the most part, really care about what's happening. I would love to believe that in the world of studio projects, everyone cares. It's rare to find that, you know what I mean? I hate to say it, but it's the freaking truth. You know what I mean? Hey, this is some people's livelihoods. It's what they do to make money. I didn't get into this game to make money doing this. I happen to be making money doing it. You know what I mean? And of course, I'm hey, well, this is working. Let's keep doing that. But I will still work for free now. You know what I mean? I love it that much. And that's never going to change. But it's just the scale of the studio work is what I like, though. Because I'm how do y'all do this? What? Who's in charge? Because seriously,
Right.
It's amazing what we are able to do in this industry. And it's amazing how much money they spend.
I know.
Can we make 100 movies for $2 million instead of a $200 million movie, please?
It's just give me the money that you spend on one day of shooting, and I'm sure I can make you an indie film.
I can make you multiple indie films.
Like a good one.
Yeah, like a good one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And
God.
I do feel like the studio system doesn't realize that. It's the weirdest thing. But even the director writer of American Fiction kind of had a shout out to that in one of his award speeches.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of hey, give us, who can make things with very little, some of that budget money that you're spending, $200 million on a feature. And I'm no, break that up. You'd be amazed at how many beautiful films you can make.
What?
You just get 5 million here, 5 million here, 5 million here.
Oh my gosh.
Even 5 million sounds great because
That sounds. What? I can make multiple films for $5 million.
Oh, me too.
Right?
That's the thing.
Good films.
Right, exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah, and
I didn't break $1 million making BEGGARMAN.
Yeah,
I didn't even break $500,000.
it's kind of crazy.
And seriously, and the quality of that movie, none of us can understand how the hell we got away with that. And I'm not going to do it like that again, promise. But
No,
It's the best feeling.
of
No, we're like
course.
magicians.
Yeah, we're
Exactly.
magicians for sure.
but the whole point of doing it for cheap at first is because I would love to have everyone involved have equity in the project so that wherever it goes, you see money after the fact. I need that. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, this is my livelihood here. I love this so freaking much. I want to continue doing this. And I want everyone who poured into it to get something from it outside of just, you know what I mean? Why am I the only one getting all the money? You know, because I'm the face of it. And that's cute, but nah, bro. If there's so many billion people that would never get the opportunities I'm gonna get, and I'm not okay with that. So until I tilt the scales some more, cool. Here's my salary from shooting a season of Ruthless. Let's make a project.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And do you feel like as an actor and now, and also as an indie filmmaker, you've had to learn how to be business savvy? Like that business-minded part of your brain has to kick in, that producer side of your brain has to kick in, because we are technically always producing our own stuff.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, do you have a battle between your art brain and your business brain?
My art brain is beating my business brain to a pulp
Yeah.
all the time. I need I need lawyers. I need managers to be right by me when these big meetings inevitably happen, because I'm so passionate about stuff that I'll get lost in the sauce and I'll forget that, oh, wait, this is a business. Let me just,
Yeah.
no, we can't do that, sir, because blah, 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 blah. Because I'm ready to throw it all in. Like, I'm ready to go right away. But there's, a part of me wants to keep that, because it's like that childish curiosity, right? Because, if you're just treating this like a business, that's why we're in the crap we're in. You know what I mean? Like, there's when projects like Fight Club aren't being made anymore, you know what I'm saying? When people aren't bold enough to do stuff like that.
Right.
People aren't bold enough to make movies like Ray. Ray was an independent feature, independent film. What? Got him an Oscar. It was the best thing this man has ever made. Like, Jamie Foxx, my gosh. And it was bankrolled by like one guy who was just, I'm like, that is, see, when things become formulaic, and unfortunately the world of superheroes is the big culprit behind this stuff, it robs the soul out of the business, right? And if there's no soul in this business, it's corporate America, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
where's the humanness in that? Ugh.
Well, it's like you said, I feel like we're taught to separate the artist brain and the business brain, when in reality, the artist brain actually has a great wisdom that I feel like the business brain kind of lacks, in that artists know that things aren't successful until they're successful. So they start as risks and then they become successful. And then all the business-minded folk want to replicate it. But then they don't want to take risks on anything else. Yeah. But the things that become successful start as risks.
I like that because, all right, there's a show called Foundation where this guy clones himself for centuries, right? And he rules the universe, essentially, right? And what happens? The carbon copy eventually gets diminished, right? Diminished returns. That's exactly what's happening in this industry. You know what I mean? Just because you want to keep all the gold.
Right.
Like, now you're, for what? Like, now,
right.
Now chaos. Awesome. This is what we needed.
So, and going back to like artist brains and whatnot, as an actor, and you said you've directed before, do you have a preference? Like, do you kind of like one more than the other now that you've done both, or are you kind of like, I love them both equally, or?
I will always love acting more. The most, probably. But it's
your number one.
It's number one, yeah. Just because it's just so much fun and it's so difficult to be effective, right? Even when you get good at it, you can't rest on your laurels ever. You know what I mean? I love that challenge. Like, okay, you think you're hot stuff? Okay, cool. Let's see. And I critique myself like crazy because I want to improve, always, always, always. So now I want to direct and act at the same time now because of the challenge of that. But as long as I can still serve and service the project, not because I'm on an ego trip or whatever. Because, all right, even in shooting BEGGARMAN, there were times where, everyone had to assume roles that they weren't given, right? And one of the times when we were shooting on the subway, like, because my brother is a Navy SEAL and he taught me so much of his crazy ways, I snapped into like mission, just blah, 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 and it was like tunnel vision. And I remember after we finished shooting, my DP pulled me to the side. He was like, yo, you're like a freaking Navy SEAL, dude. What the hell was that? I was like, what do you mean? He said, nah, you were ahead of everybody. You could just, you know what was happening. He's like, you could see into the future. I was like, I did? Okay, that's just, wow. But, I'm very mission oriented. Like if people are relying on me to do some shit, it's getting done. I will move heaven and earth for my people.
And you have to be like that, especially if you're going to direct and act and things like I've done, where I directed and acted in the feature film that we made together. And that was, it's very mission oriented, right? Like you have to, and it's an odd thing to split that part of your brain, because your director brain is very different in a way than your actor brain. Your actor brain is really concentrating on the one subject, while your director brain is concentrating on the entire story, and all the characters and so it is a challenge, but it works when you have a really great team. And just like how we feel we have a really great team, you feel you have a really great team as well. And it's important to find your film community, so to speak. And so do you feel like you found the film community that you are ultimately trying to rise up, or is it something that like is ever changing for you? Do you like working with different people?
I firmly believe, you find people you love to work with, you keep working with them, right? So I have pockets of teams,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Same,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, I don't really care to work with new people unless they are like me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Unless they're like us.
Yeah.
Because some people out here really suck. And it's like, don't do this if you're gonna make it horrible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why do this? This is an honor. This is a privilege. It's a luxury to have the ability to do what we get to do. So treat it as if you'll never get the opportunity to do this again. And I mean, that's the best way to get the most out of something. So unless they're bringing that energy, you can have it, buddy.
What are the qualities, specifically for like the people listening to this, what are the qualities you look for in your fellow artists that make you want to work with other people?
Kindness is number one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if, no matter what's happening in your life, life is difficult for all of us, I promise. But, you know what I'm saying? Be kind, right? That's it. Just start there, right? And if you can't do that, then you better be amazing at some other stuff. You better be, steps ahead of everybody. You better be the most powerful actor I've ever seen, the most tapped in producer I've ever seen, the most communicative director. You know what I mean? But if I let the meanness or nonsense slide if you're excellent at those things. But I'd rather not have a crew full of people who are unkind, because I've seen it, and it saps the energy, and it's such a collective effort that one lump on a log is gonna ruin the flow of everything. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
So
Right.
yeah,
Especially when it's an indie set and
yeah.
It'll sink the ship.
Oh man, yeah.
And also, kindness, but at the same time, like, don't take anything personal. You know what I mean? Be like water. Sometimes people get harsh with each other, this and a third, but don't take anything personal. You know what I mean? Be ready to go, right? Be hype that you're there. Be excited. Why not? You know what I mean? Like I said before, this is such an honor to be able to do this thing, right? And then to do it well, oh my gosh, who do we think we are? You know what I'm saying? It's so much fun, even though it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
It's hard.
And we keep coming back for more.
It's always shocking to me when I'm on set and I meet that person who's like so jaded, and I'm just like, why are you here?
Yeah, like what's the point? What?
It's too hard. Why are you
This
here
is such
if you
a
hate
hard
this?
industry. Why exactly? It's like
Why? What's
why?
the point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do something else, please. Save us all from your nonsense. Do something else.
All right.
Please. My gosh.
I'm going to pivot a little bit and going back to your friend that you mentioned who took their life. And, I know you have a foundation honoring them. And how has that experience influenced you as an artist and as a human being? Do you feel like you're living your life differently after that situation?
Man, that's a great question. I feel like she never left. I feel like physically she's not here, but I feel like, I talk to her pretty much every day. So when I see 11:11 on the clock, that's her birthday. I take a moment, just talk to her. For a while, I was ready to go. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, if my life ended tomorrow, that'd be fine. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought I'd be in a world where she wasn't here, even though we were no longer together. That was my best friend. You know what I mean? That was the closest person to me outside of my family. The closest person to me, period. You know what I'm saying? She inspired me to write my first short film that I'm gonna shoot, hopefully this year, end of this year. I wanted her to freaking play the lead role. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like trying to be instrumental in her transitioning from dancing to acting. BEGGARMAN is dedicated to her. In fact, in the story, my character, his wife passed away, right? Which leads to him being homeless. I got permission from her father to use her image, and she was my wife in the movie, right? So I pull out a picture of her throughout the movie and have a moment with her. Like, I get to, make her immortal.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, there's no way I could pay this woman back for how much she was instrumental in my ascension. You know what I mean? My existence. And now that she's gone, I'm like, I have to carry on what she taught me. I have to spread the light that she poured into me. Like it's the energy that I bring into every project I do. Now, I think I've always done a version of it, but now it's incredibly intentional. And outside of working, I mean, that's why I hate idle time, because it's been really difficult dealing with that. Like I so desperately want to talk to her. You know what I mean? I like look what I'm up to. Da da da. You know what I mean? Just simple stuff like that. And I feel like, the very least I can do is be at least close to how she saw me. I don't think I could ever get to that space. I don't think I'm supposed to, but I'm damn sure gonna try. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel her around me all the time. So I'm like, all right, I know you're watching. I'm not gonna slag. I can't. You know what I mean? She still holding me accountable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's.
And do you feel like that relationship is gonna influence the work that you do moving forward?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I mean, I can say I don't see myself doing popcorn movies. You know what I mean? Just for fun, or something like what's it called, Fall Guy, or those are fun. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like everything I make personally, everything I produce
that you're doing
has to touch on something that is close to me, that I see happening, that I want to speak on, that I want to bring attention to, that I want to help release somebody from. It has to move you. Otherwise, I'm not interested, really.
Right.
Yeah, I don't care to do this for fun. I want the things I make to mean something, and I want people to see themselves in the stuff I do. And I want to give more permission for people to be themselves. So, yeah, everything is on purpose. Mm-hmm.
That's really great.
Wow. Yeah.
And have you ever faced any moments of self-doubt or burnout? and how do you rise from that, you personally?
I haven't recovered from burnout.
I feel like I'm in it right now.
I'm in it right now.
I'm swimming in it right now.
I feel like I've been burnt out since 2019, right? Since right before Ruthless came and swept me. I was at my wit's end, and my then agent believed I was ready to quit. He'll say that I was ready to quit. I wasn't ready to quit. I was just like, I hate this. I don't, because I was working a bunch of survival jobs, barely making enough to pay rent, just beaten up, feeling, you know what I mean? And this thing came through, and all of a sudden it gave me new wings. But more money, more problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oof. And then the pandemic hit like a few months after we shot Ruthless. Like the day Ruthless premiered was 4 days after we were on lockdown. So I'm like, oh man, here's a win here. Oh, now we're back down, right? And then moving to Atlanta, right? Adjusting to that, this pandemic world, right? Granted, I didn't have the worry of finances for a bit, right? Which was great, but I had this guilt, as if like, damn, why am I the only one? I mean, there's so many people that I came up with that, they're just as good, if not better than me. God, I hate that I'm the only one up. No one, you know what I mean? I was looking for guidance, but I didn't know who the hell to go to. It was just, oh my gosh, trying to find where to invest my stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep doing the thing that got me here, right? And if I go broke doing that, I don't care, seriously, because this is the only thing that actually gives me life. You know what I'm saying? And then when she passed, I was like, if I'm not doing this, I might as well be dead. For a while, for a good 2 years, it wasn't until I moved back from Atlanta that I started feeling like myself again, being around family, because I was out there in Atlanta by myself. But my goodness, yeah, if I'm not producing stuff, like, I don't want to be here.
It's like denying a part of who you
Exactly,
are.
yeah.
I think a lot of people who are not creatives don't really understand
get that, no.
They never will really understand it. And it's hard to explain it. I feel like the only way I can explain it is most people who aren't creatives are sports people, like all into sports. And if I explain it in that term of like, you know, like their team they're so passionate about, you know, I feel like maybe they understand what we go through and what we feel about being an artist and how difficult and challenging and up and down, and you don't know when your next paycheck will be, and it's definitely, I feel like you have to be a little bit crazy to do it, but
you gotta be batshit.
but at the same time, you know, I think it's important that we're at an age where it's important to live your truth and not deny who you are as a person. And I always say, like, art chose me in a way. Like, that's how I feel. And I was born doing this kind of stuff. And you know, I think with indie filmmaking especially, or even in this industry, you really, really have to decide for yourself if this is the route for you or not. And some people are, you know, I mean, they're obsessed about the idea of it, but they haven't really broken it down for themselves of why. Why do they want to do this? Yeah. What is it about it? And do you feel like you personally, you've found that, obviously, but is there any point where you're like, I just want to live like a regular life just for like a few months or something? You know, like where it's like, no?
I can't help myself. I have to do this thing. Like, and that's what anyone who wants to get into it, I'm like, can you do something else? If you can, do something else.
Right.
Because I'm here because I can't. Right? Yeah, sure I could, but I'm gonna be miserable over there and getting no rewards for it. If I'm miserable over here, here's my reward is the creating the thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's like breathing.
Yes.
It really is.
It really is.
You want to put a vice grip on my lungs? Okay, cool. Let me get a 9 to 5. Yeah. And I can labored breathing. Over here, I can, you know what I mean?
Right. But if you can, then you shouldn't be doing this. Like, if you really can think of a different, like, you know what, I'd rather work with animals. Like, go work with animals. Please do. You know, like because it really is, it's a very taxing, it can be taxing, right? Like, you stress about making your projects or whatever. But I think, and I've said this in the different episode, but I think finding, or maybe not in exactly these words, but finding your community is important, and which is what you've done, and wanting to kind of bring everybody up with you, which is super important. And I think the fact that you said you kind of have this like imposter syndrome a little bit, like when you're succeeding, you're like, why just me? Yeah. But I think it's important to know that everyone's journey is different. And just like I said before, if you're up there, send the elevator down.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. And it's helpful, and you inspire other people, other actors, people who are younger than you and who are trying to strive for similar things. Yeah. So it's really beautiful what you're doing, and the way you think and the way you take on, you know, the passion and everyone that you work with. And me personally, I loved working with you as a director. Likewise. You know, and we're going to do it again.
Yes, we are.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, right. But how do you want your audiences to take away the work that you do, not only as a filmmaker, but as an actor?
Man, that's another really great question. I want my audience as a director to see what I'm up to in that area and know that they can do more and should dream bigger. You know what I mean? Like, because I never thought, I stopped saying never, because I never thought I'd be famous, never thought I'd make a lot of money and be financially stable, never thought I'd be a director, never thought I'd be all these things. And here I am, just, I guess I'm doing those now. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel a never coming on, know that, oh, you might be on to something. Follow that curiosity, right? As an actor, be a clown. You know what I mean? Be nuts. Do crazy things. Be the weird one. Be the outcast. Be the stranger. You know what I'm saying? Do those things. Live fully in that space. And, look who's excited about being around you, right? The eyes are the windows to the soul. And I love being around people whose eyes light up when I'm around them, right? They happen to be the majority of the people I work with, which is that is such a freaking blessing. And it's another reason why I started producing my own stuff is because I know these Ruthless checks are going to stop one day, and then what, right? And, I'm not going to sit here and rely on my laurels, rest on my laurels, no. Also, while I'm putting my bid out there to be seen as something more than just talent, more than just an actor, other people can come with me. That's awesome, right? And I want to change the landscape of the business side of this game, where more people get access to the fruits of our labor, right? Further along the line, you can insure your movies. You can, I can potentially live off of whatever BEGGARMAN gives me for the rest of my life. Why would it behooves me to make more stuff like that? So I'm not relying on somebody for a paycheck, for a job. As much as I love who I've worked for, at any day they can just cut me off, and then now I'm, you know what I mean?
It's kind of controlling your destiny, basically,
yeah.
and not leaving it in the hands of people. Yeah.
I want whoever's paying attention to me and following my career to want that for themselves, a version of it. Not everyone is built for it, and that's fine.
Right.
But if you are tired of having a boss, or
waiting,
waiting, or there's no such thing as job security anymore. I don't think there really ever was. It was a fallacy in the first place.
Yeah.
Maybe back in the day. Maybe
for a generation.
I was a generation.
One generation.
A generation. All of a sudden, so it's like we have to get into the habit of fending for ourselves. But I feel like more importantly, we need to get into the habit of building communities, so that it takes a village. Damn it, let's get back to that, please. You know what I mean? I'm not standing here because I did everything myself. No, I'm standing on so many people's shoulders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now it's my turn to, you know what I mean? That's an honor. That's an honor. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to hoard our resources. We're supposed to share.
Right.
Community is such a strong theme in this whole conversation. I'm just curious, does that come from a specific place, like how you were raised, or where does that come from?
Yeah, that's my family. That's my mother's side of my family. They're Jehovah's Witness, and they're heavily community based, right? The way they look out for each other is bonkers. I love it. I love that. I love that the most about them, right? I'm not a religious person. My mother gave me a choice to join or not, and I was like, I'm okay. I love that. I love that for you guys, though.
Right. It works for you.
And
Great.
I just pretty much adopted a lot of what they, because even now in Queens, like my grandparents' house is like the pillar of the family. People come in and out. Like they have helped friends and other family members get on their feet, right? Oh my gosh, my mother's amazing. So there was in high school and after high school, a few of my friends came to live with us for a few months while they got on their feet. I'm like, my mother is Big Mama, you know what I'm saying? And she was taking care of everybody's kids on the block at one point when that was a thing, back in the day. It takes a village. Her parents were doing the same thing when she was coming up. So this is my version of doing, I am my mother's child so much. I love that. I'm the male version of her. And this is my version of okay, let's get everybody together. Did you eat yet? This, that, and third. You know what I'm saying? Like that, parental kind of someone who's looking out for you. And you don't have to think twice about them looking out for you. They got your back. I love that about my folks. And I want to represent that as well, right? It's just, I don't know if I want kids though, because I'm like, this world is a little too crazy. I don't
It's
know.
tough, right, yeah.
Well, that's beautiful that you're passing on that spirit of generosity.
Yeah. So for BEGGARMAN, my last question would be, what's next for BEGGARMAN? You guys are going to a festival? What's happening?
So we will be showing the world premiere at the Garden State Film Festival this March. So
Nice.
March 27th to 30th, yes. And we have a distribution company, Buffalo 8, who is helping us find a home for it. So after the world premiere, it'll be on streaming, hopefully everywhere, and there could be a sequel in the works. Who knows?
Ooh,
We left
interesting.
it up in the air.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That would be very cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, I am looking forward to seeing it. I would try to see it at the Garden State Film Festival because I live in New Jersey.
Yeah,
so
you better.
I better go. That'd be so sad if I can't. But I will definitely try. I'm very proud of you, of everything you're doing.
Appreciate y'all.
You're a beautiful human being, and thank you so much for being here with us today.
My pleasure.
Thanks for tuning in to Real Indie. If today's conversation sparked something in you, like it, share it, and keep creating. This episode was brought to you by The Garage Productions and Man of the Crowd Productions, where purpose meets storytelling and stories are made from the ground up. Until next time, keep it real, keep it indie.